I'm sorry.
Hello.
I got sidetracked there for a second on my phone. Right as we get to it. Poor old Tex is mad at me now.
Why? What happened now?
I burst his bubble about Pinky in the brain.
Oh no.
He thought he put out a short a little earlier and said something about, what if they really succeeded and Pinky's the one in charge? And I come right back to him. You didn't watch the final episode, did you?
Right.
I don't care. That's funny. All right, whatever. So he's a little mad at me right now.
Oh no. Oh no.
Hi.
Hi. Hi, I just woke up. Yes.
Hey,
I just woke
this
up.
is this is the brightest, bushiest she's been since bushy tailing. The brightest, bushy tailiness that she's been since I've known her.
Is that a new word? Bushy
Sure. I
taillessness.
figure if we can forget that Pinky's the one in charge, we can go ahead and go with this. It's like watching
Right.
wrestling. Don't believe everything you know. Believe what you see. All right.
That's right. That's right. Hey, everybody out there, I see you. Happy Sunday.
Mm,
So I encountered something a little different last night.
yeah.
Um, it was kind of strange, and I still don't know what it is, and I can't recreate what had happened. And we were actually in, of course, Emmaus Asylum last night, and I was investigating with the group that had for the private event, and I was with half the group actually, and we were in it's a bathroom, but it's where one of the residents had died at one point.
Okay.
So we were all in there and we were discussing stuff and just talking, and very lightly I hear an eh, just like that, like an eh. And I'm like, what is that? Everybody heard it. And I'm like, well, that
Yeah.
was good. That was a good one. And so I start looking at my recorder. So I say it out loud exactly what time so I can go back easily and find it.
Mhm.
And then right after I say the time on it, then you hear a really loud, audible eh. And it was super loud that time. And I
Mm.
can't, for the life of me, figure out what that sound is. I have no idea, and the only thing that I can think of is it's a residual sound from perhaps because this was a girls' school,
Yeah.
that it what might have been like a buzzer of some sort to let them know, hey, it's class time, it's lunchtime, it's breakfast, it's something, you
Yeah.
know.
Definitely.
And it's really audible. And I was
Well,
like, I have no idea what this is.
and when you mentioned it, we were talking about it behind backstage. It was like when you mentioned it, it made sense for probably the time frame that they were at. That makes sense for a good residual right there.
And exactly, that we're just hearing sounds from the past, and it
Yeah.
was really, really cool. But I just wish I could figure out what this is or debunk it, and I can't do either. So I'm like, I have no idea.
But
I
now,
don't know.
now Roger actually trying to help you. Was it Pinky in the brain? We
Uh,
need to know.
no, no, because I would have blamed them. Of course, I would have
Oh
definitely
yeah, of
blamed them.
course,
But
definitely.
but no, it wasn't them. I had this happen to me another time. I was investigating a haunted theater
Yeah.
that had been open since 1949, and they had a pharmacy or something in there at one
Yeah.
point, and it was back
Yep.
in the 70s.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, I start hearing somebody speaking over an intercom,
Okay.
and the intercom system hasn't worked in decades.
Is this the one you told me about 3 times ago? When we were talking about the EVPs, and y'all heard that, and somebody else in another room heard it, but heard it differently than you did.
No, not this one. Not this
Okay.
one. But yeah, I mean,
Okay.
there's many things. Like, but
Yeah.
on the first sound that I was talking about last night, it sounded like a voice
Okay.
when we
Like
heard it.
like a girl
It
going.
sounded like a voice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it
Okay.
sounded like a voice, but you listen to it on the recorder and it definitely sounds like something else.
Yeah.
And like I was saying about that theater, this is residual sounds that the
Oh,
energy is still in the building. So that's how we heard that. It was very strange.
dang. See, that's the stuff right there that keeps you coming back.
It does.
I keep telling people, I said, doing paranormal investigation, ghost hunting, whatever you want to call it. It's that one thing that happens over 19 and a half hours or some crud like that. That one little thing that happens that keeps you coming back. It's much like going and playing golf. Out on the 18th green, 18th tee, you hit the drive of your life, the second shot of your life, and you birdie the hole. You didn't do nothing else. All of the 17 holes.
No, you sure didn't. You sure didn't. You know, and
But you came back.
it's I mean, I did catch some audible voices,
Okay.
some that you, of course, disembodied, and some that were just straight up EVPs.
Okay.
But there was nothing. There was nothing really profound where I could say, "Hey, this is what they're saying," because I
Yeah,
didn't know.
exactly. Exactly.
But the sound is what is really sticking with me because it is just odd.
Well, yeah, because I mean, you like me, you hear muffled voices, you think, okay, where I got something going on around here, but you hear
Right?
something distinct like that. I mean, and
Yeah.
it's not muffled, it's not anything, it's just or whatever they want to call it.
Yeah.
Like, okay, the ghost
But
is
it
looking at
was
me saying, wrong answer. No, okay, no,
But right, but it sounded like a voice to us,
okay,
but then you listen to it and it sounds like something else. So I don't know.
hmm,
This has got me caught up. This has got me a
yeah,
little bit. Yeah,
it's got you
I'm
befuddled.
it's got yeah, befuddled's a good word because I'm used to, like I said, you usually can explain or debunk
Yeah,
most things.
yeah,
This one, I don't even know what it is.
yeah.
So
How can you
I'm
debunk it
like,
if you don't know what the sound is? Yeah,
right, right. And it didn't happen any other time of the night. It didn't happen to anyone else in the building. That was it. Just that
and
particular time. So
good,
I'm
good
gonna have to
question here
try and
from
figure
Val.
it out.
Good
Right.
question from Val. The difference between the disembodied and EVPs is right. EVPs are what you catch on recorded media. You don't physically hear it at the time.
No.
Disembodied voices are what you hear physically at the location.
Yes. Yes. So this was
So,
definitely a disembodied or
something. It was a
something
disembodied
sound.
something.
It was dis something. I don't know. It was definitely something residual is what I'm coming down to. That's what I'm thinking.
What it sounded like the way you're talking. I mean, very well, that's the vast majority of what. But once again, when we talk about muffled voices and stuff, when you hear the disembodied muffled voices and stuff, that's 99.9% of the time all residual too. So you're just having to be eavesdropping in on a specific point in time.
On
So
a conversation, yes.
yeah,
Yeah. Right. But the other thing that
wow,
happened last night is that there were a few of us. Now, this is later on in the evening,
yeah,
same bathroom. Now, this bathroom is really super, it's large. So there's a bunch of us in there, and it's more or less a tub that they used boilers to heat the water.
yeah,
So the boilers would be underneath the tub. So the tub's
yes,
up on a kind of like a platform. Now, in
okay,
this time, um, they had no regulators for the boilers, so
oh,
it would
get
heat
hot,
up
hot,
this water. Right, it would heat up this water to scalding temperatures,
okay,
and then they would just throw a thermometer in and wait for it to cool down. Well,
okay,
apparently, one lady had, I don't know if she'd been through surgery or that day or something. Something had happened where she was getting her bath ready, and I don't know if she passed out or she had done something. Well, she fell into the tub
ugh,
and she was scalded to
well,
death.
yeah,
They did the
to death.
autopsy, and she did not drown.
She boiled, didn't she?
She did. She did. And this is this bathroom. So Terry Mosby, if some of you know who Terry Mosby is,
Yeah.
she's a great friend of all of ours here and Blondes and
Hmm.
Booze, of course. And she was sitting by the backside of the tub area, which there's more bathroom behind it.
Yeah.
And she got a very strong smell of as if somebody had just lit a cigarette.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was like somebody was smoking right behind her. And I couldn't smell it because I was near the door to the hallway. And
Yeah.
then, so some of the other individuals got up. Paranormal Paul was there. He
Yep.
got up. He went over there and he's like, yeah, it smells like somebody's actually smoking a cigarette in this bathroom.
Yeah. It sounds. I've run into that 100 times. I mean, I realize what you're saying because that's one that'll catch you off guard because nobody's smoking around there.
Right. Well, we know it's forbidden. So,
Yeah.
especially in a girls' school, it's forbidden. You can't smoke in
Yep.
the bathrooms.
That's why
So,
you have the
we kind
song.
of made a tease out of it and we're like, you're not supposed to be smoking in the bathroom, and stuff
Smoking
like that.
in the
Just to
girls'
see,
room.
right. Just so if we could see if we could get something to
Something. Yeah.
respond. Right. And we didn't after that, but Paul was getting some great EMF hits
Yeah.
and stuff like that. And he actually was sitting in the tub.
Wow.
So, right.
Now.
But like I said last night, to me, there was some outside influence on what was
Oh
happening.
yeah. Sounds like
There,
it.
yeah, there were some people out there that were working on stuff and drilling, hammering, sawing, whatever they were doing, and they were
Yeah.
doing it too late. So we had to really make sure that this was not interfering with any of our recordings, and some of it may have. I haven't went through all of it.
Yeah.
Um, but I don't know. I mean, last night seemed very quiet for me, more than normal. Even though we had
Yeah.
activity, it was a little more quiet than usual.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm thinking that outside influence had a lot to do with it because they were in
Yeah.
close proximity to the property, and I think that may have had a lot to do with it, and it
Yeah.
does. It
Yeah.
does.
Even if it doesn't have an effect with the spirits themselves, it has an effect with your equipment and how you're perceiving what you want to perceive.
Exactly. The evidence can get a little mucky,
Mm-hmm.
and you just have to pretty much throw it all out. So
Yeah.
that was a few
Yeah.
hours worth of investigating that we had to throw all the evidence out.
Yeah. Which kind of stinks.
Yeah,
Especially if
absolutely.
you got something that you really think you might have caught, but now you can't verify it at all because of
Nope.
what was going on.
No, we can't say that wasn't the hammer, or we can't say that guy
Yeah.
wasn't drilling into something,
Yeah.
so we're just at a loss. So, but we did catch, like I said, we caught a couple good things, and that one I really can't explain. I just can't. It's got me going crazy a little bit.
Well, yeah, I can understand that. I mean,
Yes.
anytime you get something like that, you want to know more about it, and sometimes it's just kind of hard to find anything more. You know what I mean?
Right. Right.
So
Right.
it is what it is with that one. But more power to you. I hope you do find more. I really do,
Well,
because then you get to bring it on here.
so because all of this going on, I had a little bit of time, and Terry had, from our previous visit there, Terry had that howl growl type thing
Yeah.
happen when we were there before, and she had it on her computer, so I was able to actually sit down and analyze it and look at it, and it's purely organic.
Yeah. I mean, and that's if it's purely organic, you get it looked at and everything, and well, honestly, I hate to say it like this because a lot of people kind of get a little bit, I shouldn't say offended, but they get kind of protective of their stuff. But
Right.
when you're listening to something, whether it's really organic or something that shouldn't be there, you know what I mean?
Right.
Or
And
some stepping over it. Yeah.
I analyzed it, every little blip and everything on graphs, and see if there was something that would say, hey, this is maybe something else. But no, it was actually, it flowed strictly organic on there. There was no glitch or anything. So I was like, ooh, okay.
Okay. Well, I was answering Roger because Roger was talking about how his dad had passed away in 2021, and he used to chew skull. After he passed away, every now and then you get that smell of skull in the house, type thing.
Absolutely.
And Val's like, he's checking on you. He's checking on you. My grandmother, when she passed away, she lived in the same house for as long as I could remember. I could remember going, I was a little bitty kid going, there during the day when mom dropped us off while she would go to work. We stayed with grandma and her husband at the time, Gordon Glass. We would stay with them. And after she passed away in '89, it was like right after I came back from basic training on Christmas Exodus, and she passed away while I was at home. It's like she
Mhm.
waited for me to come back. She saw everybody, and she was done. Okay,
Right.
I get it. My sister and my brother actually lived there for a while with his new wife, and they didn't realize it, but they were here clinking in the morning. You know, in the morning they hear clinking, sound like an old coffee cup. You know how they used to drink their coffee with the saucers and stuff like that.
Yes.
She would. I'm telling you right now. I told her, I said, "That's grandma's getting her coffee. That's what it is. Grandma's getting her coffee." And that's all it amounts to, because she got her coffee every morning, 1 to 2 cups. And of course, she'd shake like this, and she'd sip and they get it into the saucer, and then she'd sip it out of the saucer, stuff like that. But the woman smoked, and I swear she would have a dangling ash about that long off the end of that cigarette whenever she was sitting there smoking at her. It'd be that long, and she's shaking like this the whole way, and I'm like going underneath her with a daggum ashtray trying to get ready to catch. It never fell until she got right over the ashtray she went to.
Oh
Somehow
my
she was
goodness.
able to do it. I don't know how, but I'm digressing. I'm going back into old times.
Right. But I understand what you're saying about like the coffee cup thing.
Yeah.
My grandmother had glass coffee cups,
Yeah.
glass. And
Yes.
there is a distinct sound between glass and then the porcelain type of cup.
Exactly.
And
100%.
yeah, and sometimes I'd hear that sound like stirring in a glass cup.
The tink, 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 tink.
Yeah, it just had that distinct sound to it.
Mhm. Yep.
Absolutely. Again, residual sounds. And that's why I'm befuddled, because there is a residual sound that we were hearing last night, and I can't explain it. It's,
Yeah. Yeah.
and I find that it's the little things that you get. Everybody's looking for that one big moment, that aha
Yeah.
moment. It's the little
And
ones, people.
oh
It's the
yeah.
little ones.
And they're the ones that stick with you, because those are 9 times out of 10, those are the ones that are most personal to you.
Yes. Yeah. That's why if I could contact somebody or get a hold of anybody that worked in that building and they
Mhm.
could possibly say, "Hey, yeah, that was the buzzer that would sound for lunch." You know,
Yeah.
that would tell me a lot.
That would give you a big thing to fall back on right there. I mean,
Yes.
that would back up a lot of your theories, and you'd be like, "Okay, now I know what I'm dealing with."
Right. Right. And you would know specifically what it was and that it is absolutely residual. So that would be paranormal activity. You would know right then that it would be verified and validated. So, but
You,
just
you
gotta
know,
wait.
I'm gonna have to send something up into Oklahoma to make Gary trip on something, just out of spite with the way he keeps talking to me out there. He's messing with my hat now again. Okay.
Oh no. Isn't this an every week thing?
Well, yeah, between him or Ike, one of the two. So,
Right.
but that's okay. Guess what? It'll be there till the day I die.
There you go. Well,
Okay.
let's move on. We talked about some good stuff. Now let's see some good stuff.
Well, wait a sec. I got one more for him. Yes,
Uh,
I watched it. I watched it, Gary. I actually watched it today, and that was a heck of a game. That was a heck of a game all the way around. But those two teams, Oklahoma and Texas, I guarantee you will be the national championship series again. So, anyway, okay. Now to the real stuff.
yeah, let's go. Well, it's not real stuff. It's
It
not the
may
only
be.
real stuff.
It may be. It may
It
not be.
might be.
It may be. You just never
Well, yeah,
know.
I mean it's not Red Circle Sunday, so okay.
No, and that's another reason I kind of stayed away from that first one I was talking about, because it's got red circle. I think I got
Uh,
another one in here. It's a red circle too, but I got to be careful of it. And I didn't blur a face on one of them, because the lady you see in it, you'll need to know a little bit about her anyway. But anyway,
okay,
on this one was taken at our favorite ship, the Queen Mary, and this was at
absolutely.
the first class pool area. And according to this, not the one taken immediately before or after. Neither one of she did a series, and this is the only one that caught their attention. This is the only one where this came up in. Okay. I am going to I'll let you guys look first. Can you see it worth a crud yet?
I'm not. I mean, I'm seeing like shadows or something.
I'm just going to zoom in.
Okay. Because
I'm just gonna
for
leave it
me,
right
it's
there.
very small. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's why I didn't want to zoom in until other people had a chance to quickly look at it though, and see what they were thinking. But uh, yeah, I mean, this one kind of caught me. I won't say it caught me off guard. What caught me off guard was the actual depth of it, shall we say? See as I zoom in now.
Yeah, I'm seeing that in the. Is that the door or something there or
This
something?
right here.
Or the wall?
Yeah, this up against the wall here. Now I'm gonna back out just a little bit because it looks like she's going into almost like a mirror. I think this is into a mirror, is what it is. Is where she's taking the picture. Because this doesn't look like. I mean, it looks like a reflection to me right through here. You know what I mean?
It
So
does.
I would assume this is a mirror that she's pointing into originally.
But
Now
that is a
this would,
weird place to put a mirror.
yeah, I mean, but this is all behind her. Is the way I'm gathering because I didn't give me a whole lot of how can I put it? It didn't give me a whole lot of depth into it. Just
Information.
that these were just taken, you know. So I'm assuming this is a mirror. That's all I can do is assume. I hate doing that, but to
Well,
get
with
this,
the glare, with the
it's
glare,
got to be, yeah.
I would say it is, but
So
just at the
this,
angle, it'd be a weird spot to put one.
yeah, I mean, because it's like as she's looking at it, she is off center, as you can see right here.
Right.
But does that mean that this back here is a mirror as well on this one? I mean, it doesn't look like it should be, but it may be. I just don't know. I don't know enough about the picture and where they took it at and the orientation and the exact
Does it give
depth of
a?
it. No,
The
what I
lights are
read is,
weird. The lights are weird. That's what's throwing me
yeah,
off.
I agree because I think these right here are a reflection from behind her.
Right.
So that part, or if they're there, then there's such a glare coming back through. But I would say this has got to be a reflection behind her and not going through a glass or anything. And it could be going through plexiglass. I don't know.
It looks like kind of like a mirror thing to me.
Yeah.
It
So
it
I'm still all the only thing they say on it, like I said, is it took this photo on the Queen Mary ship in the first class pool area. Only appears in this photo, not the one taken immediately before or after. So I read into that to say that they took several pictures at this particular point.
Well, if they're looking into a mirror, of course, that's your basic scrying because that's what you
Yeah,
do.
exactly. And I think that's what a lot of people do in this situation. If they see a mirror, they do take pictures into it to attempt to scrying.
Yeah.
So, and if that's the case, this becomes a little bit more so of a thought and a attention grabber, shall we say? I
Yeah,
think,
because if you look, it looks like she's wearing some type of necklace.
yeah,
You
that's what
see
I was
that?
thinking too. Yep, I saw that as well.
And that it looks like kind of like maybe a ball gown, the way I don't know.
Yeah, the way it
Maybe
starts to
I'm
come down.
seeing
Now you
things.
can see there might be a little bit of a silhouette, but it's obscured by this shadow, obviously.
Yeah.
There might be a little bit of a silhouette going down, but it's not much. And that another thing that makes me think, okay, is this maybe reflecting of somebody else back there?
I don't know.
But if it was a reflection of somebody else back there, you'd think it'd be more solid.
Well, okay. So, we've talked about the picture that I took at that
Mm-hmm.
hotel where I
Yep.
was actually taking a picture out a window.
Yeah.
But it was darker outside, so it caught a lot of the reflection from the inside, which in
Exactly.
return I caught two full-bodied
Yeah.
apparitions.
Yep.
Okay.
Sure did.
And I wasn't even looking in the mirror. I just
Yeah. So, but there's the thing when we're talking about reflection, though. I mean, if somebody was to say this is a reflection of somebody behind her in some way, shape, or form, I would think if this was a mirror, this would be more solid.
I would think so. I would think so. But
So
then
that,
again, if you're taking a picture in the mirror with flash,
yeah,
it could
which I can't tell
distort
if
it
she is or isn't.
completely. Yeah,
Yeah,
it could distort it completely.
yeah, and I can't see that she did that per se. It really just looks like normal reflections from this light that's back behind her there.
Right. I mean,
So
from the way that the actual, I guess the person looks, they
yeah,
look out of place.
yeah,
Do
she
they
looks
not
like
look out of place?
a different period. Looks like a different period to
Yes.
me,
Yes. Looks
and that's mainly because
totally
of the necklace. That's mainly because of the necklace.
right. Looks totally different. And if you look up above her head, above her eyebrows, it looks like hair there, and it
Yep.
looks like it could possibly be like a hat.
Yeah, a possibility.
Do you
And
see how it
what?
kind of ripples a little bit? Like
Yeah,
that could
yeah,
possibly be a
just a little
hat?
bit right there here,
Right. So to
and
me, it looks out of place.
yeah, definitely looks out of place. And here's the other thing. I mean, this little reflection, I'm just going to call it a reflection of light right here, obscures it. I mean, it obscures it like it's in front of it before, it's in front of that particular silhouette, that image.
Mm-hmm.
So that adds more depth to it to me. So now we're talking about something that can put itself behind a reflection in a mirror.
You guys, I'm caught on this one. I don't really know because
Yeah,
she just to me looks out of place.
100%.
Us ghost hunters are not out there dressed in our best and wearing, a
Necklaces.
necklace
Yeah.
or whatever they were. We're not
Yeah.
out there
Oh, yeah.
dressed like that to ghost hunt. So she looks to me out of place. Um, I don't know. What does everybody else think? Because I'm on the fence here.
Yeah.
Because if she were in a mirror, it to me would be more solid.
Yeah. And Nemo, you're right. I mean, there is an argument to be made for pareidolia here. There is.
Yep,
There,
absolutely.
100%. But usually when I see a pareidolia, it's something that's a little bit more out of whack as far as the face go. I mean, we got cheekbones and ridges of noses and
I
eyes,
know. We've got
sockets. I
lips,
mean,
eyebrows. Yeah, we've got it all here. It's not just
but again,
like
I mean,
it
look over
could
here.
be.
Look at these smudges over here that look like they could be any little rays of light, and stuff like that. So it can conceivably be pareidolia. It really could.
Could be. Yeah.
But it's about what you personally believe on it. I mean, obviously, a lot of people don't put any stock into pareidolia or into
Yeah.
anything that looks like pareidolia. So, and
So
it's a good
for
argument.
me, yeah. But for me, I'm on the fence.
Yep, me too. And the only reason I'm really on the fence, and I didn't come out immediately and say pareidolia right off the bat, or somebody screwing with it or whatever, is because it's Queen Mary, and we love the Queen Mary.
That's right. Don't talk
And I
bad
will
about
always,
Queen Mary.
yes, you will be in a world of hurt. Don't talk bad about the Queen Mary.
I think that's where we're at. John says, I have no idea.
Yeah,
We don't either.
no, not one bit.
I would have liked to
Not
have
one bit.
seen. I would like to have seen the before and after pictures, just so we could look at that wall, particularly close, so we could see if there's any ridges or anything in the wall or anything like that that could lead us to pareidolia. Um, but we don't have them,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
we'll leave it up to you all, and you can
I
let us
am
know
doing
what
a
you think.
I am doing a quick little edit to this one coming up because I'm trying to actually make part of it disappear. I'm trying to get rid of a face, but I remember I told
Oh,
you I couldn't. I
right.
didn't have time to get face out of the way, so I wanted to get this done first. But we're gonna roll with it. You're not gonna see it because you're not gonna pay attention to the lady in the first place that's in it because I'm gonna have it zoomed in as fast as I can. But okay,
Yeah, we try to hide everybody's
yeah, I
face
just didn't get this
so-
one done.
because we don't have the good old, hey, can you sign here?
Yeah, exactly. And this one, this is a known haunted establishment, served as a Civil War hospital at one point. There's only 5 of the people there: her husband, mother, and father-in-law, and the person who did the tours. What the heck did I capture? Now, the way I understand it, this is the lady that does the tours that I have kind of zoomed in over. Okay,
Okay.
that's the lady that did the tours, and this is, but I believe right here is the husband. Okay.
Okay.
Now, as we're looking at it, she's trying to figure out what she captured.
Oh, again, we're seeing the glare.
From here.
Yeah.
But now I'm going to zoom in.
Okay.
I think when I looked at this the first time, I thought, okay, I wanted to look at it closer, and I think I've already discovered what I think it might be. I'm fairly certain it's a case of mistaken identity.
I think it's somebody moving.
I think it's a hand. I think it's somebody's hand out there that just come across as she was taking the picture, because she zooms in on it with this one right here. And see how the arm, it looks like an arm comes out. Somebody's hand, I think, went across there as she was taking that picture, and she just caught it by accident.
Right. I think so too, because I mean, you can see that the gentleman behind the hand has a long sleeve shirt on, so we know that it's not boiling hot outside. That this person looks like they got a sleeve.
Even though he's got sandals. He's got sandals on too, though.
Well, some people wear shorts all winter long.
No.
No.
I don't want anybody to see my legs.
Right. But they're wearing pants too, so it's not warm. So I mean, this person could be wearing something. It looks like a sleeve of some sort.
Yeah. That's firmly what I believe, because quite conceivably, this right here, the little blurs that are the little rays, if you want to call them that, right here. Yeah. It looked like a kid when you first look at it. It looks like a kid jumping off that chair right there. It looks kind of like a kid jumping off the kid, but there's no kids there, obviously. But as you look at this, it distinctly looks like an arm going off camera.
Yeah, it's the shutter speed. The shutter speed, or it's not long. It's no longer the shutter speed. It's what do they call it, Randy? Anyway, when the picture doesn't snap quick enough.
Delays and
it's got some having 1-second, 2-second delays. Have you ever used your phone to take a picture and then press the take the picture button, and it takes a second to take the picture?
Yeah, because it takes that long for the software and the hardware to recognize that you wanted to take the picture. So you've got that lag. It's a lag time is what it really amounts to.
It really is. And it doesn't look like
Nemo got it right. Nemo, they're just not, phones are not the best for taking the snapshots in this situation.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I mean, sometimes they could be your best ally, especially in a pinch. But I mean, you've got to take it for what it is. I mean, this does look like an arm got in the way of the, when the picture was taken.
Either it's coming, it looks like it's coming up too. It doesn't look like it's going down. It looks like it's coming up. Somebody's lifting their arm as that's being taken.
Right. That's what it looks like to me. So I'm gonna put my hat on, because I believe this one is just it's somebody's arm. Yeah. Mistaken identity. It's misidentification. It's whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. Now, I didn't go out and get the actual comments. I didn't read the comments on this one. I got another one later that I did read them on because I thought it would be pertinent. But this one I didn't go out and read because, like I said, I just wanted to get closer into it. You know what I mean? And see it for myself. And the minute I zoomed in, I was like, oh, wait, never mind. I see it now.
That looks like somebody's arm. Yeah.
Yep. So, okay. Well, so much for that one. See if I can try and get something cool again. I ain't doing that no more. This one's kind of got me a little, I shouldn't say flabbergasted, but I don't know. This one actually came from the Whaley House. Okay. From San Diego. All right. Okay. Now the owner said, I've been investigating haunted locations for 17 years. Most recent paranormal picture I got was at the Whaley House here in San Diego. And this is what he caught. He didn't give me a year, didn't say anything about it, but it's really, I hate to say iffy,
Oh,
but it's so
yeah.
distinct.
Yeah,
You know,
I'm seeing it already. Yes.
when you see something that you know is too good to be true, most of the time it is
Right.
too good to be true. This is the one that kind of gets me that way because I want to think it's real, but it's just too pronounced. You know what I mean?
It's
And
like
these
a
people,
perfect silhouette.
and you can see through it here. Look, you can see through it back to the stuff behind it, that poster behind it at this point, but you can't see through it here.
Oh, that looks too
And I
perfect.
and you know the ladies are not uh, reacting at all, obviously.
But yeah, they're not acknowledging it at
Yeah.
all.
So
So that would lead me to believe that why would you be taking a picture of the
exactly
whole room?
like that. Now,
But
and you know as well as we do, we just take pictures to take pictures. Sometimes you never know what you're going to catch.
yeah,
And if
let's look out the window. Let's look out the window. This
okay,
is interesting.
yeah, you see what I saw there too, huh? That big,
Yeah,
that's got to be the flash.
yeah.
So if that flash is there,
Beautiful
what?
view out the window. I'm just saying.
Yeah, but something doesn't look right about that either because I don't know the time frame of the day, time of day, or anything like that. Because these look just wrong. You know, the banisters out there and stuff.
I don't
They
know. They don't
look a
look
little
as
wrong
crisp
too.
as everything else. You know,
Yeah,
something is, well, of course, the flash will throw that off too. We've got to understand
yeah,
that.
it will. That's true. It will. Yeah, and we
Gosh,
know it's got to be
guys.
the flash because the bounce back ray is obscuring this lady right here too. So
Yeah.
I want to believe this one. I really do. But once again, we're at the
I want to believe it too, but man,
and
ah,
like I said, I'm just now. This is the first time I'm going into this and looking. Yeah, Nemo, Deadpool. I don't know if it's Deadpool or not though. I'm going and trying to figure. And it looks like he's got a little shadow right here, maybe.
I don't know. To me, it looks like somebody put something there and then kind of smudged it a little to make it look wispy, and they just
You
didn't
think
do a
so?
great job.
Yeah, and it's tough to say. I mean, because the more I zoom in, obviously, the more I get the pixelation. But I can see what you're talking about because it looks like there's a little bit of discoloration right here.
Yeah, yeah, but
And
that's not to say it can't happen.
no, yeah,
You
no,
know,
that won't because I can't get good enough, you know, resolution at this zoom
right?
to
But
really say
look at
one way
the
or the other.
elbow. I mean, look at the elbow is what
Right
is
here,
really getting me. The elbow and then the shoulders are what's really,
they're sharp.
um, yeah.
They're
See,
really
because
sharp.
it looks like they smudged it.
Yeah. So
But I'm not
could
saying that it didn't happen, and I'm not saying that it's not true, but that's
well,
what it
yeah.
looks like to me. First glance, this is what we're looking at. We know nothing else, barely anything else.
Here's a let's go down here and see if I can see anything underneath there to show foot or something like that. You know, in an area. I mean, it just unfortunately it's too dark down there to tell anything. But it looks like you could see him through the lower, you know, underneath that bench right there, underneath that pew.
Yeah, I mean, it could appear to be a foot, but then again, pareidolia. We've talked about it
Again, yep.
again.
And it's so dark down there that it, I guess my biggest issue with this is if that flash is that bright coming off that window, why is this room not illuminated more?
Well,
Because this room,
we're also forgetting other things. Depending on what's out there, could that be a reflection of sunlight off of
it
something
looks cloudy,
outside appearing coming inside?
but it kind of looks cloudy out there to start with. And this is
Yeah,
San
it does.
Diego, so you know this is one of those things we can't
It
be for sure.
Yeah, it's a toss up.
I mean, and if it's coming from outside, it should be blocked more by this like this ray right here. You would think would have been blocked by that wood going across there.
You would yeah, well, yeah, you would think it'd be outside
Yeah,
versus over her head on the inside.
Yeah, and it looks like
Yeah.
that
So
looks like it. Yeah, but even if that's the case, and this is the flash, you've got the overhead light that we can obviously see right here, which is more of a yellow light.
yep.
Okay, that's a bright daytime light. Okay,
Right.
we should be seeing more brightness in here. In that case,
Yeah, yeah, but there is another indicator that they're using a flash because you'll look at the ray of light coming down from the fixture, the light
mm-hmm.
fixture. You see that ray of light, so that tells
Right
me
here.
that it's a flash. Yeah, that it's
Yeah.
flash. Oh
So
gosh,
you think that
guys.
that flash? Do you think that this flash is the flash is up here, or it's well, and it could be up there, and we could be seeing that reflection from that flash up here through a screened door, which would, give it a little bit of a filter and coming back.
I don't know. This one is somebody who is a professional photographer would have to look at and
Yeah,
explain this to us.
yeah, because I can't.
No, because when you're dealing with light play, a lot of times somebody who has an education in photography will have to tell you.
Yeah,
Is
I
it
mean,
possible? How would they have to take the picture? Direction of the room would they have to be standing or pointing,
yeah,
or could this be something outside? It's somebody like that we would have to talk to about that. It is strange.
yeah.
I would like to believe that one's real, but I just can't say
I,
no,
I, I can't say yes on that one. Yeah, I
and
just
I
can't
can't
say
say no.
no. I can't quite. I'm really close to saying it just because I want to, but I want to
Yeah,
believe it. But this the
there's
that
something. Yeah,
scientific side of me is just saying that's too it's too good. It's too
yeah, there's
perfect.
there's something. Yeah, there's something off.
Yeah. So we're just gonna say, eh,
Yeah, okay.
that's that sound like it.
Kinda.
Okay. All right. Well, that one was like I said, I liked it, but the guy's been doing it for 17 years, he said, and I've got literally no information on it other than it's at the Whaley House. If he'd told me the year and date and stuff like that, I may have been able to dig further into the actual film. But I
Yeah,
think it's
well, we could have dug into the Whaley House to see if anybody else has had
oh no,
a similar catch or things like
that
that.
house that house is for the other show. We saved that for the other show.
We're gonna save it for the other show. Yeah, there
Yeah.
you go.
Yeah. All right. So let's see here. I am going with this next one as soon as I figure out where I hate not having two monitors now. Let's see here. Okay. Now this is the one I told you I purposely did not bring this lady or blur her face or anything like that because it comes into fruition or into clarity here in a minute because the lady says she loves telling stories and she loves hearing the stories of others in her encounters, and she said she loves seeing the pictures. But the first picture was a couple of weeks before this lady had passed away. It was her, I don't know if it was her grandmother. Oh no, it was her mom. That's what it is. But it was a couple of weeks before she had passed away. And then the second picture is a month after she passed. And I'll zoom around the little boy that's in it, but he's knocked out on the couch anyway, so you wouldn't be able to tell him from any other teenager. But anyway, if,
Right.
if,
They all look the
if you look,
same when they're sleeping.
yeah, yeah, they're all knocked out, period. So if you look at the window in the second picture, you can see her mom. She said, if you enlarge the picture, you could see through her. Picture it looks like a lot like her in the first picture, outfit and all. And she was really sick. She has a walker, and this picture reflects back toward the lady's office. Okay, this is the mother. Okay, the grandmother, grandmother,
Okay.
whatever you want to call it. Okay,
Okay.
we see how she looks. Now we've got this. Don't look at the boy's face. It's all blurred anyway. So now, as you look closer at it, I'm going to do this right here. There, he's out of the way now. And you can tell me what you see on that one.
I don't know.
Hey, I purposely didn't do any red circles. All right.
Yeah, I mean, I'm. This one's a little tough because it's so obscured by everything. I mean,
Exactly.
they
That's what I
really
thought
had
too.
to dig into this picture to see this. So go ahead and zoom in for everybody because, like I said, you would really,
You got to look for it. I mean, I
yeah,
saw it right away. I saw it right away because I knew what they were looking for when I saw her. I was like, okay, we got a granny that's visiting somewhere, right? So
right.
now this is the one where I told you I got some of the comments too. Um, and where's the comments? Comments. I got to find my comments here. Oh no, never mind. That's the next one's got the comments. But there was person in the comments with this one that told her that I see the lampshade. That's all he said
Yeah,
is I see the lampshade. Okay, thanks, Sherlock. I mean, we
we
understand
would,
that. Don't be a excuse me. I forget. I'm not monetized. I can say this. Don't be a jackass about it. Okay.
right, right.
So we know we've got the reflection of the lamp. Okay. Now I see exactly where she's talking. I do not think this looks like her mother though.
I don't think it does either. The body shape is different.
Yep.
It also looks like it could be the reflection in the window of a picture
Yeah. Which is over here off camera.
off where we can't see.
Yep. Because I mean, you see what I'm seeing right here. You see the little framing right there.
Yeah, like a
This
frame. Absolutely.
this looks like a buffet, if you want to call it that, or a little china cabinet, china hutch is what it kind of looks like. You already got something hanging from the ceiling or something right there. So yeah, there's no doubt in my mind this could easily be the picture or another piece of glass mirror. But I mean, it looks like a lot of it. In fact, it very well could be because it looks like this line right here goes along here. Maybe it's reflecting this hutch.
I don't know. I think this is just a play with a reflection. I
Yeah.
do not believe this to be ghostly.
No.
Again,
And Nemo's favorite word is pareidolia, I'm thinking.
I think so too. If they were to take another picture on some random night
Yeah.
with the exact lights on, take that picture again. Let me see
And
what's there.
I bet
Or
money you see the
they should
same
have
thing.
done it right then.
Yeah. Well, like I said, these weren't exactly the ghost hunters, out there doing the stuff, or he who must not be named who takes 5,000 pictures of a freaking sand pebble.
Right, right, right. I mean, but
So I mean,
yeah, I would have to relook at this because
yeah,
if they went back today or tonight and took this picture, same angle, same lights on, same everything, and for some reason that
I'm trying
person
to see
is
if I can see
gone
anymore.
and that frame is gone, that would mean they have moved it
Yeah,
because that
and
definitely looks like a frame.
yeah, it's
Doesn't look
definitely
like a
something.
doorway. It doesn't look like,
Not really. It looks like a frame on a wall. Like
yeah,
I said,
it really
this
does.
looks like a hutch. This looks like a hutch right here.
Yeah, but see, I think there's a play in light there
Yep.
that the picture may be closer and it's just the angle that they're standing at that this is what we see. I don't think it's a
Yeah.
life-size picture, everyone, is what I'm trying
No,
to say.
I don't think so either. I don't think it's a spiritual thing at all. I think literally it's just a reflection of something that we can't see off to the right side over here.
I think so too.
And
I
you
think
see
so
how
too.
lit up this area is over here.
Right.
So I mean that could easily be well, it wouldn't even be in this picture at all. It'd be back further off this way. But yeah, I can see what you're saying. It could be going down a hallway almost if you want to get right down to it. So
Oh yeah, and I mean it could be closer than we think too. Again, we can't
yeah.
see what's on this other side of this room.
Nope.
Um, so I would. It doesn't look like grandma.
No, it doesn't look like grandma to me. And I can see where she might have thought maybe because of this little beam right here, or whatever this line is right here, thinking that might have been her walker. Maybe. Big maybe, but maybe.
It's hard telling, but it's not our grandma. So,
No. Yeah.
I can't say yes or no.
Yeah.
Because
I,
if my mom were to do like show up in a picture like this, I would know exactly.
yeah.
I'd be like, yeah, that's my mom. But this does not resemble the picture given.
Yeah, no. Yeah,
You
Nemo's
know,
right. She
but
really
that
did. She really likes her knickknacks. So
right. But I mean, but listen to this though. In the picture before of her,
yeah. Here.
when she was alive, okay,
Okay.
she looks pretty good there. She looks pretty good there. But
Yeah.
as she progressed, maybe she did lose weight. Maybe she did. We do all kinds of crazy things towards, near the ends of our life. We could, transform due to what's going on with our bodies.
I can understand you saying that, but according to this, like I said, this was one was literally let's see, what did she say? A month after she passed and a couple of weeks before she passed. So there's not very much time in there for her to lose that kind of
Yeah.
weight.
So yeah, no, I'm sorry, I don't think so. I
Yeah, I
don't
just
think so. You may have a spirit in your house, but I don't think it's that grandma.
and maybe it could be that grandma from the time when she felt better too. I mean, but either way, I don't think you have to worry about a thing on that one.
Yeah, yeah, I don't. I mean, we'd have to know more about the story, and history is a big part of things.
Yeah, big time on that one,
Well, okay,
especially on that one.
I'm not going to say yes or no. I'm not going to say yes or no.
I'm gonna say it's just a misidentification. Period.
You think so? You think it's something else in the room? Yeah,
No,
that's
yeah,
possible.
I think it's something back that is reflecting like you were talking about. I really do.
Yeah, yeah, I think so.
Okay, this one's going to be interesting for me. Now I know we're getting close to the hour, but this is two of them here, right?
Okay,
And on these, let's see here. This is the camera on their front porch. It was daytime around 4:24 in the afternoon. I don't know what time it what year it was or anything like that. I'm assuming. Well, actually, it's got a date timestamp. You'll see it in a minute.
okay,
And please explain it. Of course, coming from this is where I said I went out to the actual to the comments to get some of the information on it. Okay, and because that's all he gave us originally. We've got this one at 4:24 and 57 seconds on 4:21 of this year now, and here we go with 58 seconds. Okay, and it's going up. They're saying try to please explain this. That's why I wanted you to look at it real quick because the first thing I saw in the actual in the comments for this one was bug, moth, fly, this, that, the other, all sorts of crazy things going on. And one even said he saw reflections in the glass that looked like gnomes or something below it, it was out there kind of thing. But there was
right,
one
right.
that said this is coming from a medium. It's a neutral male. He isn't causing problem. He doesn't want to go inside. He doesn't go inside the house. He likes the neighborhood. He likes to walk around and look around. He doesn't want anything. He just likes hanging around. This is from a medium just looking at the actual two photos. Okay.
See, that's where I have to differ.
Yeah.
I am a metaphysical person. I believe in a lot of things, but when it
Yeah.
comes to straight up evidence, I have to kind of take that part and set it aside.
Exactly.
And I have to
Exactly.
look at what I'm looking at. Um, Honestly, if you want to know the truth, I would say looking at specifically this picture, I would say that looks like a bat.
That's what I thought
if,
too. But if it's
if
up
I
close
mean,
to the actual, what you call it, because you see it's starting to go up it right here, up the frame, and it just continues. And in 1 second, it's moved up that far. I'm
okay,
immediately thinking a moth or some sort of fly.
yeah. Okay, so what we want to do is I want you to go to the bottom of this picture, go to the
Okay.
bottom and look off to the I can see it now. I see it. I see it. Okay. Look off towards the very bottom and look off to the left. You're going to
Right next.
see right there. That's a bug.
Mm-hmm.
That's a bug. You see it? That's part of the wing. That's a bug. It's a
That's what I
bug.
thought.
It's a
Yeah.
bug, ladies and gentlemen.
And I
It
don't,
is a
it
bug.
could be a wasp. Quite frankly, it could be a wasp. I
Could
don't know
be
where
because
they're
they're
at.
long in the body.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, They look, when they climb up on your cameras like that, they look gargantuan. They look like,
Well,
they
yeah.
could
I
be
mean,
Godzilla running around in there. But that, ladies and gentlemen,
is a
that's
bug.
a bug.
Yeah.
That's a
Now
bug.
she did not. She did not say. The person that put it out there did not say for sure one way or the other what it was. I kind of thought that way when I first looked at it, but I wanted to get a closer look on here. Obviously, yes, I try to make it to where I can have a little bit of surprise on myself too. But the minute I saw it in 1 second to move like that, yeah, no, that's a bug on your lens. I'm sorry, that's a bug on your lens all
Yeah,
day long.
like I said, it may look like Godzilla or a gigantic fruit bat or
Well, yeah, and
something.
look at how it starts. I mean, see,
Yeah, it's climbing up. Yeah,
yeah,
it could be just about
and
anything,
there's
but
yeah. And
yeah, but
I'm looking at the reflections, of the porch right here, and I'm looking at it, and somebody actually mentioned, said, "Why are you taking a picture of your porch toward your window? Why is it named that way?" But it's not. It's actually supposed to be aimed at the steps over here, is what he said it was aimed for people
oh,
coming
okay.
up that gate right there. That's why they had it right like that. Because I questioned the same thing. Why are you putting a daggum camera facing your house instead of facing out?
Yeah,
I
but
said,
that's still a whole lot of window. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? If they wanted to catch the
exactly.
door, then I would have put it more towards the door. That is kind of odd. I'm just saying.
If it was me and I'm setting this thing up, it's going to be back over here somewhere, back over there above and on the other side of that door to catch anybody walking up to that door.
It is kind of creepy, y'all. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
That's very poor placement
Yeah.
for what you need it for. Yeah.
I would have thought that, but that's just me.
Yeah,
I don't want them.
security for security reasons, like if you just want the door, no. I mean, unless they're trying to keep it in case somebody breaks the window, who knows? I don't know.
Well, you
It's
know,
just poor placement to me.
oh yeah, 100%. So either way, we know it's a bug. We figured out it's a
It's
bug.
it's a bug.
No ifs, ands, or buts. That's what the majority of the comments said too. But this person early on in the comments tried to dismiss their bug theories and stuff. I've never seen a bug look like that. It's the daytime. I've seen a bunch of bugs look like that. Get
Right.
back.
I've seen a ton. I've seen a ton, especially on trail cams and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
You know,
So
like that one that we were talking about that Tex had produced, and we were looking at it, and we were trying to determine if it was like a spider web or a spider kind of swinging or doing
yeah,
whatever. I mean, we're still up in the air about that one, but yeah, I mean, we can't. I don't know why, but bugs are attracted to these things. I have no idea why.
yeah. It's because of the light. Because they can sense that IR, but this is daytime.
Right.
So it's got to be the electronics that is creating something for the bug to go to. Because honestly, think about ants on the side of a house. Where do they go to first? They go to the daggum circuit, or not circuit boards, but to the breaker boxes.
Well,
Ants
yeah,
will
I
build
mean,
in a breaker box in a heartbeat.
yeah, because you got to think of the vibration.
Yep.
Is the frequency of, say, the electrical box or maybe this camera giving off the same frequency that they would use?
Yeah.
I don't know.
So it's
So
almost
I
like it's
mean,
calling them.
yes, kind of like, hey, I'm another bug, come, or something like that. It's a strange thing, and hey, we're still figuring it all out. But this bug, it's a bug.
It's a bug.
It's a bug.
However, I found the perfect culprit for everything. Now, after last week, we had our nice, pretty kitty. We get
Yes.
a nice, pretty trash panda.
Oh my goodness!
Not
Look,
only does he's standing up, he is Bigfoot. I'm telling you, he is Bigfoot.
it's Bigfoot.
Not only does he sit there and do that, he turns around and then he turns again and then he looks off.
He's doing a little dance out there.
He's doing a dance. I had to expect to see that Budweiser commercial, with the ants carrying the bud to the do a little dance, make a little love.
Yeah,
If I see
that's
him
what
do
look like
that,
he's dancing.
we're in a world of hurt on that one. If that's the case, he
That's
is.
so cute.
I saw that one.
But
I was like,
again,
oh, that's cool. And somebody, hey Gary, Pops, I hate to tell you this. This was actually put out there on Strange, Oklahoma. This lady put it out there and said, this isn't creepy, but it was really cool looking.
well, it is kind of creepy. This thing is standing.
It's sitting there waiting. It's sitting there waiting for that feeder to give him some food. Is what he's doing.
Yeah, like how am I going to get up here to get some more?
Yeah,
Because we
100%.
know they're little thieves, and they will try to figure it out
Yeah,
to get up
well,
there,
like I said,
and that's what it
our
looked.
beloved.
Yeah, that's what it was looking like. It's trying to get up there to get some food.
It's our beloved trash panda.
Ah, it's our dancing trash panda.
Yeah, well, maybe.
Right, right. I love it. I love that one.
Well, and while I was at it too, I found another one. Everybody, I really think of all of you at all times. I just want you all to remember that. I really want you to remember it. So
I
just
believe in you. I also believe in Bigfoot. So don't get excited.
yeah. You
I
are
love
my family.
right? Right? Exactly.
Yes, Gary, it would be me out there begging half the time.
Yeah. Well, John says if it's not Bigfoot if it's not blurry and there's not a circle. So
Well, it was kind of blurred on the side a little bit.
a little bit. But no. No. Well, anyway, that was kind of good though. I mean,
Nemo got mixed feelings.
he was got mixed feelings. I mean, but the evidence was pretty decent. I mean, because some we could explain and some we can't.
Yeah.
I like that kind of evidence. It
The
keeps you
shadow
thinking.
guy's the one that gets me. The shadow guy is still the one that gets me.
Man, that would be so good if that was real, but I just can't. I just can't say yes, and I can't say no.
Oh, not yet. Because I want to believe the guy that's done it for 17 years, but this is just too damn good. Sorry.
Yeah, but I mean, was this actually his photo, or was it just somebody else's photo that somebody got a hold
as
of?
being his? That's all I can tell you. He portrayed it as being him.
I know. So, there's a lot of that going around, and that just sucks.
Yeah. Yeah. That's out there all over the place now. So, yeah,
right.
Trust me, one of these days, we're going to do a show. It's not going to be Red Circle. It's going to be, can you believe this was actually out there?
Right.
That's
got a picture for that.
There's so many of them. I could fill up 3 hours, no problem. Easily.
Right. Right. Yeah, like I said, I got pictures for that.
Yeah. But okay, so what do y'all got tomorrow night? Do you know?
Tomorrow night, I do not know. Text was MIA, and I haven't talked to him today because I was sleeping.
He's up in Oklahoma, I think, right now. So
yeah, so he was MIA. So I don't know what's going on tomorrow night. Wednesday night for Paranormal Show and Tell, I may or may not be there. I will be over in West Plains at meetings, and I'll be on my way home. I'll try to hotfoot it home so I can make it on time.
Don't kill yourself, first of all. Donnie's got. I know Donnie's got it that way on Wednesday this time. He's got one that he's been prepping for, another Asian ghost story. So
see, I love those. I'd love to hear ghost stories and folklore that is not our own.
Yeah, that we have never heard before. A lot of it we've never heard.
Right. Right. They're different and maybe even a little bit more on the strange side sometimes, So I'm really excited to hear it. Well, yeah, he is strange and unusual, but here we go.
But yeah, that's what it looks like right now. And next week, like I said, it'll depend on what I do on Friday, but I'll look at seeing what I can do we may actually try that next week. I don't know, because there's so much out there that I get so tired of thumbing through stuff. Sometimes I just want to poke my own eyes out. It's literally that bad at times.
I know. It's like, should we say, can you believe it? It's the Can You Believe It show.
Yeah. Can you believe they put, just say, can you believe it? Because then
can you believe it?
Can you believe somebody put this crap out here?
Well, we don't want to do all that. We'll just say, can you believe it?
Yeah. That works. I'll do that.
Or would you believe it? Or would you believe it? There's the question. Would you?
Yeah, that'll work.
Maybe that's the question we need to ask next week. I mean, would you believe it? If somebody showed you this picture, would you believe it?
Would you believe it? Could you believe it? More specifically, should you believe it?
Well, we shouldn't believe in a lot of things, but here we are.
Yes. Like, I'll never live down last night's episode with Donnie, so I just, no.
Well, we'll leave that to Donnie's show. So if you're interested in what they talked about last night, go over to Donnie Cho Says Stuff.
Don't. I no.
Okay. With that being said, good night, everybody, and make sure you tune in to the Misfit Island of Toys all week long, 7 days a week. There's always a show, and we'll see you then. Bye, everybody.
Push the button. Push the button.